Right, let's just check everything is coming through. Any moment now, the camera's going to kick in. Any moment now, any moment now. There you go. Right, cool. Camera's kicked in. Sound should be okay. The video's playing. There's always a delay when you go live via OBS and YouTube. So great to see some of you here. Beatrice, John, how you doing? Dave, Curtis, Gary, and we've got, Curtis, I've already said hi to. I'm just going to open up my screen now. We've just started about a minute and a bit before the actual time, so I'm going to wait a few minutes before I do the whole reveal and everything. So this is a course. I'll kind of give you a bit of a preemptive speech or blurb about it. It's something I wanted to do about 2.5 years ago even. But I struggled to find time or really prioritize it. And then once I did the elemental course, I was like, right, let me just use this like momentum inside of me to get things done and just get it out the way now. Because normally as you approach Christmas time, there's sometimes a bit of a flood of clients who want to get stuff done. And then there's a bit of a big uptake in January going into March, April. Because new businesses are setting up, businesses want to reinvent, they're thinking of the new financial year. Some businesses want to use up their budget or whatever they've put away for marketing and stuff like that, and they want a new website done. So often December to March is quite a busy period. So I wanted to get it done. Hey, Nick, how you doing? And by the way, Nick, thanks for your message you sent the other day. I did appreciate that. I haven't replied, but thank you very much for that. RH Hassan, how you do? Weather is bad in the UK? Not really. The weather is quite normal. It's not too cold. It's not too warm, really. It's kind of all right. Hey, Eddie, how you doing? Hey, John Ferris. Sorry, I didn't say hi to you, did I? I am alive, but yeah, great to see you. Justine, hope you're okay as well. So, let me just make sure I got the right camera on, because this is where things can go a bit wrong. If there is any delay or the synchronization between my voice and my screen isn't spot on, do let me know. I can't change it once I go live, so I don't want to say deal with it, but you kind of have to deal with it, to be honest. And like John said, the weather is the same as it. Yeah, it's quite normal, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, John, Ferris and Jonathan and other people in the UK might agree with me and say it's not too bad. Right now, where are we? Approaching mid-November. It's kind of okay. Thank you, Eddie, for confirming it is synchronized. I was just saying before I came live, I am very, very nervous. I don't often reveal this, but when I'm launching a new product or a solution, I get really nervous because you're putting yourself out there for people to criticize, to say they don't like it. You could have done more. You could have done it differently. You're putting your reputation on the line and things like that. And whether it was the Elemental course or some of the $1 packs or anything I've put out there, I always get a little bit nervous. When you put out a YouTube video, you don't often care that much. You just put it out there. You know, not everyone's going to like it. But when you put out a course that people are going to invest in and use, that's quite a big thing, right? Yeah, and John says put the heating on. Right. Let's just cut to the chase, okay? Let's just go in now with what is this big reveal all about? Yeah, thank you very much. Can you see it? Oh, can you? It's probably not on camera, is it? Can you actually see it? There we go. So there's my poppy. I get one every year. So this is the 2024 one. I do get them every year. I always like to go for the enamel ones because I find that if you go for the normal paper ones, they crease up quite quickly when you put your coat on and they fall off and stuff like that. And I'm not a massive fan of those big flowery like knitted ones because I feel like they're too big. But I do like these ones here, so I always do wear it. Yeah, I'm proud to wear it. Okay, Eddie is nervous about the cost. I do have my heating on, by the way, John, so don't you worry about that. Okay, so before I do the whole big reveal and everything, right? What do you think the new course is about? And I'm not going to keep everyone waiting, by the way. And if you go to the Web Squadron website, you're not going to see it because as I'm talking, I'm going to hit publish. So on my over here, I've got the course screen and my home page, and then I will activate them. And then I will purge the site. And when I will jump to SiteGround, it's all open here, and I'll purge the server so that hopefully when I've done that, you'll see it. But if you go to the learn.websquadron.co.uk website, you won't actually see it there. Okay? You won't see it. Learn. But yeah, do you like that, John? Quite cool, that, isn't it? I'm using one of the screens. I am going to use one of the other screens down here as well with some inspirational quotes that I've made up. Okay, right. So RH Hassan says Elementor. Well, I've already done the Elementor website course. Curtis says Gutenberg. Now, Curtis, you're not onto something. So it's not that. John, how to sell stuff. Do you think I should do a course about marketing and creating courses and how to think and the process I go through? Because one thing bricks, RH Hassan says bricks. Aha, RH Hassan. What I'm going to reveal, you can use with bricks as well. You can use with breakdance. You can use with loads of stuff, the way I'm going to do it. I've got social media posts going out. I've got promos going out. I've got newsletters going out. There's so much you've got to do prep work for. Right, okay, keywords and stuff like that. Thank God it's not Gutenberg. Okay, right. I'm just going to minimize myself now, okay? I'm just going to minimize myself. I've got to make sure I don't get this wrong. Hold up. Boop. All right, cool. So I'm not completely minimized, but I'm on this side of the screen now. Custom post types. Cal says something CSS-y. Curtis says core blocks. Okay, you can stop guessing now, okay? I think we can kind of do the reveal now. Do you think it's a good time? Especially if anyone is watching, I apologize because you're probably 6 minutes in now and going, when is he going to shut the up and just tell us what the damn course is? Right, before I do that, I just want to kind of obviously make sure you're all aware that the Elementor course, I did tell you the date, 11th of November. The course has gone from $50 to $100, okay? So if you did not get it prior to today, you're not going to get it for $50, okay? It is never going to go down to that price. I'll be honest, I don't care what part of the world you're in. I don't care what you're earning or anything like that. I've got to be really blunt on this. There's no parity pricing. There's nothing like that whatsoever, okay? It is $100, but if you use the coupon code Pepsi Max, and the only people that are going to know about that code are if you're in the Web Squadron Facebook group or if you're on the live chat, because I won't be sharing it on Twitter or anywhere else. You got to either see the live chat or be part of the Web Squadron Facebook group. You will know about the Pepsi Max coupon code. If you use that, you get an extra $25 off. So it goes from 100 to 75. It is not going to go from 100 to 50. If you didn't get it, because I made it, I think I went on and on and on about it, and I shared so many screens and images. You missed out on that. It's never going to go low. There is no Black Friday deal. There is no Cyber Monday deal. There is no deal of deals, okay? $100, Pepsi Max gets you down to 75, and that's it. But on the 12th of December, please focus on what it says down there, right? 12th of December, the full price kicks in. So unlike other products out there, and I'm not naming any, they will say, here's the discount price, and there is the full price. But they never tell you when are they going to go to the full price. Were they ever going to go to the full price? Well, I'm being crystal damn transparent, honest, damn clear here with you. 12th of December, it goes to $150. So if you want the Elementor website course, or you know someone who wants it, they need to get it now with that coupon code. Let them know. Right. Are you ready? Are you ready to know about what is the new course? Are you ready? Tell me if you're ready. I'm waiting. Tell me if you're ready. Extraordinary. I have a tab where I have a... No, unfortunately, Extraordinary, today's live chat is not about me helping out. What I would say, is that if you've got a question, you need to go to the Facebook group, the Web Squadron Facebook group. Go there and you will... Go there and you will... We'll ask you a question and someone might help you. Okay. Burger making masterclass. Mark, I'm so glad you remembered. The burger. If anyone's never had a burger, you are all missing out. And I couldn't care less, but you are missing out. Okay, ready? Right. The new secret course that I am launching is the CSS course. Now, some of you might go, Well, that's a bit boring. I could go to W3 Schools, I could go online, I could go and watch videos, I could go elsewhere. The difference with this course is it takes you step by step. And I'm taking you on a journey. I'm going to make you stand out against the competition. Because you can all say, hey, I'm a web designer, I'm a web developer, I use Elementor, I use Bricks, I use Gutenberg and all of this. But if you're able to take what you are given and do something different, a bit of transformation, a bit of animation, which wasn't in the widget, but you wanted to do something. Like, do you fully understand pseudo classes and the before and after and how you can actually animate the after, but not the bit before? There's so much you can do. Have you ever been able to write like a bit of text and then turn the text in the middle of the text editor into an actual button? I don't just mean a hyperlink. I mean, make it look like a button within the text. I'm going to show you how to do all of that within the CSS course. And there's 26 modules, right? There's so much I share. It's just like the Elemental course, but there are no videos. This time I'm sharing the tips, the hints, the guidance, proper full-on notes and stuff. You get like, you get the actual widgets as well, and you can hover over them and you'll see the changes. You'll see things happen. But this has been 2.5 years in the making, but I never did it. And then 3 weeks ago, I decided I've got to get this done. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to get it done. And I started it, and I've spent the last 8 days solid sorting this all out. There's no need to do videos though, John, because the videos are all, there's no need for videos. And here's why, because I explain it to you step by step. I will say to you, go and click here and add this container, and I show you the example of it. But you'll see it all in the promo that comes out at 5 p.m. So in 50 minutes, the promo is coming out. So I am now just going to ask you all to put down honestly what you think about that. What do you think about that? Exactly like Mark says, videos for writing CSS is pointless. So what you get is you get the notes, and then you get the containers with the items in, so you can see what it is. I don't like learning no video. John, well, the thing is though, John, when I show you the price, okay, if people wanted me to do videos, then they're going to have to pay a heck of a lot more. Right, Artif, how you doing? Right. I'm just going to ask you all to bear with me, okay, as I now just run through some updates. I've just got to click update, update, update. But what do you think the price is? What do you think should be the price for a CSS course? Bear in mind, okay, if I just go back over to here, right, the Elementor website course has gone from $50 to $100. On the 12th of December, it goes to $150, right? So that's how much I value the Elementor website course. What do you think should be the cost for the CSS course? What do you think? I'm going to ask you right now. The thing is, though, John, until you see it, you can't say that. And I think what you'll find is before we had YouTube videos, John, a lot of us were learning from forums. A lot of us were going onto like websites where there's no video, there was no YouTube, and you're learning SQL. You were learning tons of stuff. RH Hassan says $25. Eddie says $80. Right, let me just pop this back onto the right screen. What do you think the price should be? I'm just gonna quickly regenerate, okay? Just bear with me because you will. Ben says 125. $5 a module sounds reasonable, Mark says. There's 26 modules here, right? It's all about to go live in a moment. So if anyone is on the website, you're going to see it go live in a moment. Right, I'm back. Right. Just give me a moment because I'm doing this all in real time. And I get nervous about doing stuff like this in real time. So, right, it's all gone live. Right, I'm going to reveal to you the price. Here we go. You ready? Right, here we go. Here is the price, $25, okay? A deal came in with 25. Beatrice says 47. John said $1. I can't see, pasted it. John says 26. $25. Here's the deal. There is no coupon code. There is no early adopters pricing. There is no special pricing, whether you're a member of Web Squadron, the Facebook group, or anything. it is $25. On the 12th of December, which is 31 days away. Is it 31 days or 32? I think it's 31 days. I might be wrong. The price goes up to 50, right? It goes up to 50. So you could say the next 31 days is your early adopters price. After that, the price does double up. So right now it's 50% off, $25, all the modules and all not, and that's what you get. Does anyone here actually want to see the website or what the module looks like? So I'm going to quickly now log in and I'm going to show you what the module looks like. Would you like to see the module really, really quickly? I'm not going to show you all of it, by the way. I'm only going to show you bits of it because obviously I can't reveal everything to you. So do you want to see it all in its glory? Do you want to see it? I'm going to wait to see if anyone says they want to see it. If you want to see it, I'll put it on screen. Do you want to see the course? I'm going to assume you do want to see it because no one is saying they want to see it yet. John says he does want to see it. Right, okay. Let me now just get this onto screen. So, let me just minimize myself. This is the danger with when you do things live, okay? This is what happens when you do things live. So I'm just going to minimize myself to go down here. And we are now going to go to, let me get this right. Right. So when you, obviously you log in or you've purchased it and you go to the courses page now, you've got the Elementor website course or you've got the CSS course, and you can only access it when you purchase the course, okay? And when you go in, obviously you get a welcome message, but it's very similar to, let me just zoom in a bit so you can see it a bit better. You got 26 modules, okay? And for anyone out there that's worried about, well, I would prefer to have videos and stuff like that, seriously, don't overly worry about it, okay? Because look, you click on here and you will have the notes, you have the code, you have the examples as well. So you will now see what happens after you add this code in, and it will show you what happens. And I'm doing some funky stuff here, right? In fact, I do something really cool with the animations. Where is it? Where is it? So I go through the explanations. I give you the code. When I show you that, look, here's like you hover over the container and you've got this effect happening all here. That's all I'm going to share with you at the moment. But that's basically the gist of how it all works. So it's, let me just make sure I've got the right images on because I've got the wrong image on. Hold on. Let me just expand myself. This is why you should never do things live when you start messing around with your screen. Right. What are the questions people have got? Because that's basically all I can say about it at the moment. I mean, there's not a huge amount I can say other than you got the modules. If you've got the Elementor website course, it works kind of like that. You click on the sidebar, you access your modules and whatever. There's no certificate at the end, right? And Eddie can now see why it makes sense to not have the video. And John, you can get it. You get it now as well, right? You get your notes. You got the explanation. It tells you what I did. Add a container, add a button, give it this class name. Do not style it. Drop this code into the container or the widget. And then it does this. And then I say, but there's a problem. So let's now expand on the code. Maybe we want to do something a little different. Here's what you would then do. So what I'll do is, I'll take you through from the basics to a whole heap of stuff. And I feel like there's so many nuggets in here. Now, this is built on Elementor. So I will be referring to the classes or the selectors or the CSS specificity. Let me get this right. Specificity. You get what I mean, right? For like Elementor button or the Elementor icon or the EN tabs title for the Elementor tabs. But if you take the knowledge, I know, Mark, stop laughing. But if you take the specificity, say it, someone say it, go on, specificity, yeah, that, yeah, Paul, that. You get it, right? Paul had to jump on and say it. Specificity. I take what you learn here, you can apply to anywhere where you can use CSS. I think that's the thing I want to make clear, this is not a CSS course for just Elementor, right? This is a CSS course where you can take the knowledge you gain with visibility and display, right? Do you understand the difference between visibility and display? The fact that one of them will leave a gap and one of them gets rid of the gap. Do you understand that? Well, I'm going to show you. I'll have 3 buttons. We apply visibility. What happens? You apply display. What happens? What about the use of multiple classes and IDs? Can you use multiple ID? I know you can't, but I'll show you and I'll explain it to you. So I'm just going to quickly run down. Hey, Toby, how you doing? I'm just going to run down the questions because I think I've ignored a lot. Hey, Hilly, Zoltan, Cal, Viviana, hope you're all doing okay. Mo says, what's the best in 2025, Framer or WordPress? Look, I use WordPress. I don't use Framer, so I don't want to say Framer is not as good. So RH Hassan, yes, we do have CSS codes in Elementor, but we did not overload it with CSS codes, did I? I gave you a CSS code in the Elementor course because I wanted to show you how this is what we get, but we want to just do something a little different. So we need to drop in code. Now I'm basically saying you could, if you want, create like a CSS framework for all of your buttons, for your fonts, so much stuff where it's a very light touch on the Elementor styling. Why is that important? Well, you just change the code and all the way through the website. You're going to say, but I could use the Elementor global widget. Come on. Has anyone here used the global widget and likes it? Do you know how much a pain in the backside it is when you have to modify a global widget? Bricks is pretty simple. I'll give it that. But the Elementor global widget, it's a bit of a pain because you got to go in, then you got to edit it. Then sometimes you realize you've done it wrong. It's so it's so difficult. It's not simple. You can create these frameworks for yourself so that you can create frameworks for different buttons. In fact, in one of the modules, I go through, what if you've got a hero button, a call to action button, a standard button, and you want to have a hover effect, but it's a different animated hover effect for each of them. You just do it in your code, dung, dung, dung. You suddenly decide you want to change it, go and change it. You want to apply a gradient that's 5 different colors. And I know you could go onto the website and get go and grab some code. But if you understand what it means to apply the percentages for 5 different colors and how to apply it, if you can get that in your head, you're no longer just a web designer using a page builder. You're a web designer that knows how to code. You could stand out because now you're going to be able to do a whole other heap more. And the big story I want to give you is about 4 years ago, we were building a website and I wanted to do some stuff like zoom in image, right? In fact, can I show it to you on here? Have I got it on? No, I won't show it on here because I have to find it. But you want to zoom in on an image, right? Elementor does not give you that. At that time, I did not appreciate the CTA widget. I did not realize I could have done it with that. So what do? You want to zoom in image? You go and look for plugins like Mega Elements or Premium add-ons or something just to get a zoom in image. And it really bugged me. But with some simple CSS, you can zoom in as you hover and it stays within the boundaries. Code is going to take you from just relying on Page Builder and third-party add-ons to now being able to stay within the remit of what you get with WordPress and Elementor, even with bricks. There's stuff you can do with bricks, but then you may go, oh, but I want to go and get an add-on because I want to do X, Y, Z. Could you have done it with a bit of CSS? And the moment you start to get more confident with doing that, you're now going to break into, well, could I use a bit of JavaScripting? We don't cover JavaScripting. Maybe one day I'll do a course for that. We've got to see how it goes with the CSS course if I'm going to go down that road, right? We've got to see. Then you're going to get confident with using more AI to do some code snippets. Hey, we love doing code snippets. We love doing that crap. But when you get more confident with doing that, you won't be jumping onto forums and going, how do I do this? I got something like an accordion and it's got like slide, slide, slide and a big slide. How do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that? You're now going to start to be able to do things that you did not think were possible. Right, it's $25, goes up to $50 on the 12th of December. But bear in mind, the Elementor website course is now $100. The course has doubled up. I did tell you it was going to happen. But if you use the coupon code Pepsi Max, I actually forgot what it was then. How can I forget that? Pepsi Max, you get $25 off, which is 25%, but it's $25 off, okay? But the CSS course is now live, and you can get it for $25, but then it does jump up. It doubles up to $50. There is no Black Friday. There is no Cyber Monday. There is no Christmas deal. There is no Easter deal. There will never be another deal. The coupon code might last for a long time. Let me just check what is on the comments. Hino, what are your website packages when signing a new client? Well, Hino, it very much depends on the job. So I would say is, I don't say I'll build your website for $1,000 or $5,000. I have a starting price and then it goes up. So a one-page website I will do for $2,500, around that price, right? One-page website, if it's quite simple. If it's going to be a 5-page website, we go up. If it's going to be WooCommerce, you go up even more. If it's going to be a WooCommerce and you got to do cart abandonment and loads of other stuff, and there's going to be loads of categories, gift card, whatever's got to be done, you price up accordingly. Kind of thing. Thank you very much, Eddie. You've just, I feel like I can go and buy myself a KFC bucket now for my son. Mo, is your advice that specializing in WordPress to build landing pages and mini sites for clients strong and in them? Yes, of course it is. People still want websites. People are still contacting me. Businesses are still looking for it. A lot of people know. Look, let me just quickly touch on this subject, right? Anyone who has never really stepped into working with tools might see build your own website and they'll buy it. There are people that will buy everything they see on AppSumo, everything they see. But a lot of businesses, a lot of people that have been around know that you can't just buy something and expect it to do everything for you. And sometimes people would rather have a human touch, someone they can talk to, work with, hone in on what they want to get to. So whereas you have AI and all of this stuff out there, sometimes they want the human touch, which is why people are still employing web designers. Toby, will a person with zero knowledge with CSS be able to get up to speed? Absolutely, Toby. In fact, Toby, let me show you, Toby. How are you, by the way, Toby? So let me just shrink myself down like that. Right, so if we go over here, CSS intro, first thing I do is I do bombard you a little bit at the start just to say, hey, look, there's loads of stuff we could do. But we start basic, right? We start with, look what happens when you do this. Then we expand on it a bit more. We talk about how you could use custom global colors. I do share a video about clamping your font, but we go into it. We go deeper. Selectors, how can you do stuff? Links. Look, this is a link, right? You know how to do links in text editor. It's pretty simple. But this is the same link converted into a button using this code. So imagine you've got that in the middle of your text editor somewhere. You can drop a button in to the middle of your text editor with loads of other words around it, rather than text editor, button, text editor widget. That's 3 widgets. You do it as one. Right, let's just get myself back over here. Expand on the screen like that. That will do very fine. Oh man, do you know what? I feel quite emotional at the moment. I was watching Green Mile. For anyone who has never seen the Green Mile, go and watch it. Watched it when it first came out. Watched it again about 15 years ago. And I watched it again with my son. And even he was really touched by it. But god damn it, anyone out there that watches the Green Mile, powerful, emotive movie that is. But yeah, you don't have to be an expert on CSS, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking you through a journey with Here's what you could do. We start with the basics and then we expand on that. But you can jump. You can pick and choose. I do recommend that you go through the course module by module, right? I'm not going to get anything more by you going through one module or 26. But if you go through them in order, it will make more sense. Because like, for instance, when you get to say module number 16, I touch on something I did in module 15. And module 15 touches on something I did in module 14. And module 14 touches on something I did in module 6 and 7. So if you go through the logic, you're suddenly going to look at your websites and the websites you build and go, I did not realize I could do that. In fact, why has no other add-on ever done that? Why have they never given you the ability to have a text editor and convert any word in that text editor into a button? Why have they never done that? Because you know what? Some of them don't really think that far. You know, a lot of these third-party add-ons, no disrespect to any of them, but they give you like an image zoom. When you realize how to do it, you're going to kick yourself. Seriously kick yourself. In fact, I'll kick yourself. I'll kick you for you. You will kick it, right? Just checking comments over here. Hina says, what's the most you've ever charged? Oh, the most I've ever charged was $18,000. And that's because sometimes I'm a little bit too caring about my prices. And I think I could have gone up to about 30 odd for that. But I was probably too nice to the client at that time. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing I do want to mention. And Mark's made a really good point. Mark's made a really good point. All of these codes, right? Look, you've got the word, you've got copy, you click it. So everything, if you want, you can either highlight the code and copy it, right? Let me just get myself out. I'm just going to take myself off screen, right? You can either highlight it or copy, or you just go over here and click copy and you've got the code. So there's loads of stuff you can do there. Remember, there's 26 modules, loads of stuff for you to do. It's $25 now, goes up to $50 in about 31 odd days. BLR, is the CSS course also for complete beginners? Yes. It is built for someone who's probably never used CSS before, because I take you through it step by step. In fact, if I show you over here, I talk you through it. I will say to you, add a container, now add a text editor, change the words, go to the advanced tab, add this class name, then drop this code in. I will take you through it step by step by step. Zoltan, I'm focused on another builder. Yeah, but you can use this CSS course, Zoltan. Is it Zoltan or Zoltane? Zoltan, in case I get it wrong, really sorry. You can use this with Gutenberg. You can use it with bricks. You can use it with breakdowns, quickly, oxygen. You can use it anywhere where you can add CSS. The only difference will be, I do talk about this in one of the modules called CSS specificity. Specificity. Why do they have to make these words so complexicated? Specifics. CSS specifics, right? I talk about in there how you need to use, you need to go down a chain, right? Like a chain of command. Like, you know, you can use a class name, but that might not be enough because a widget will have components inside. So I talk about that and I show you where you can go and get the specifics, the elemental. Now for bricks and breakdance and other places, you got to go and get them. But if you understand that, how just using a class name won't be enough. Take the elemental, take the button. You got the button, but there's a separate subclass for the text. There might be a separate subclass for another part of it, like the tabs, EN tab title, EN tab icon, EN tab da-da-da-da-da. There's loads, right? But if you understand that and you inspect, and I talk about that as well, you can take the code and apply it wherever you want, which is why this is called the CSS course, right? This is Let me get back onto my screen. Oh, I hate it when this happens. I hate it when this happens. This is not a CSS course for Elemental. This is a CSS course for WordPress. Yes, it's built with Elemental. Yeah, I do focus on Elemental when I say, right, go to this tab, go to Advanced, go to Motion Effects or something like that. And it's going to be different for bricks. If you can get your head around that, you will be totally fine. Eddie, isn't that a Gutenberg block with the copy button? No, Eddie, it's the code. It's the code widget in Elemental. In Elemental, we have a code widget. You drop it in, and you can set it to be JavaScript. I nearly said JSS. JavaScript, CSS, HTML. You can do that. So that's the code widget. Naveed, a similar course as JS for Elemental. Look, if this does well and the feedback is great, and please don't forget, if you are a member of the course, and I'm just going to take myself off screen for a moment. If you are a member of the course, can you please make sure that when you do go to... went to the wrong page. Oh, yeah, by the way, I have changed the website as well. I'll just quickly show you that this is all live now, okay? You got the modules all there and everything. But when you are on the courses page, can you please leave a review for the Elemental course or the CSS course? Whoever does a review, it automatically goes to... It automatically goes here, right? Your reviews will feed through to a custom post type, and they automatically come here. So I'm using the Elemental form, which feeds to a custom post type the minute you hit send. And if you want to understand how I did that, I got a video that I did on that shows you how to do that for free. That was using a code snippet, by the way. Yeah, that was using a code snippet. It's not all CSS for that, but you can easily use a bit of code to take something and use what you've got without having to go and get a premium third-party add-on. Because a lot of the time, a lot of the add-ons, they're doing something fancy with code and then they package it up. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I always feel like if I can find a way to do it and tell you how to do it, and it means that it's one less plugin. Yeah, I know code snippets is a plugin. Like, give me a break here. But it's kind of like, it's more like a suitcase for holding codes and stuff like that. Paul says, getting to grips with even the most basic of the CSS can be a massive boost to your creativity. Absolutely. When you're able to do something like just something tiny, which means that plugin that I was loading full of bloat, I don't need anymore. Whoa. And when you're able to take an existing client, maybe, and you're able to say, hey, by the way, I want to do this to your website because I think it's going to make it work a little bit better. Entrance animations, right? How much control do you have over entrance animations? Very little. With a bit of code, you can have all the control you want. And we cover that off in here as well. So you can now have, you know, when you have like a button and you hover on the button and it might move up. Are you able to control how much it moves up or moves down? Or maybe it moves like that. Are you able to control that? Not really. I'm now going to show you how to control that. And maybe when you do hover it, you want the words inside to do something different. Oh, you don't get that, do you? You can move the button, but what if you want the words inside to also expand or shrink or something? I'm going to show you all of that in there, okay? And again, like I said, we go through it step by step kind of thing, and you will totally get it. Just reading some of the comments. Do you know what? I sometimes get lost looking at the comments kind of thing. Using CSS to achieve a design tweak also feels great when... Absolutely. Code snippets and JavaScripty stuff, you know you're doing something really amazing now when that works. But being able to do... I mean, look, we could be here all day long going on about stuff that Elemental, Bricks, loads of builders out there should do out the box. Why is it for the tabs we had to drop in code? No, the accordion. Why did we have to drop in code to stop the first accordion opening? Elemental then built it in. Headings. Did you know that you can't like have a hover effect on a heading even though it's a link. Well, now you can with a bit of code. And I'm hoping Elementor will look at some of the code and videos that me and others have done, and they'll kind of go, why don't we just build that in? I did some videos on Elementor Form of how you can add calculated logic and a pay with PayPal button inside of Elementor Form with no other third-party add-on. I really hope they look at these codes, hack into it, and go, you know what? There's no risk involved here. All it does is whatever it does. Why don't we use it? Build it in so we get more out of the builder. Because when you rely less on third-party add-ons, right, you feel a little bit safer and secure. Anyone got any questions about CSS course? Because I am going to wrap up in a bit. Because I need to go and order KFC for my son. Because I said, yeah, I'll get you KFC. So I need to order KFC for him. He really wants chicken legs. The trouble is, though, you can't really specify chicken legs, can you? And there was one time I got him a bucket and there were no legs. It was all chicken breast and thighs and whatever, but there was no legs. And he was gutted. He was not overly happy. So somehow I've got to let them know, hey, just shove legs in there, all right? Don't give us any of the other stuff. Toby says, knowing CSS has saved his life in most cases. Builders can never give us a granular control as we ever want. Yeah, it's really annoying that, isn't it? Like, for instance, like I just said, Elementor animations, right? You can they might have like a fade up effect. Great. But I want it to fade up a certain amount. What if you've got a button and you got text here, right? And when you hover over it, it does that. The trouble is, though, it might go too much. And then it crosses or overlaps another element. And then what you got to do is create a gap, right? But then when you create the gap, it doesn't look so good anymore because the gap is to cover the fading up effect or movement up. A bit of CSS is going to give you all the control you want where, you know, and I talk about cascading and inheritance and all of that, where you can now, with your CSS, take, what's the word? You become more important, but we're not going to use exclamation important in this code, okay? I do not think I used a single trace of exclamation important. I'm pretty sure I did not. I wanted to be really sure I did not. I'm pretty sure, I'm really sure that I did not use exclamation important anywhere in there, okay? Because I want you to build right. I don't want you just to drop some code in and screw up your website kind of thing, okay? So the Elementor, like I touched on, the Elementor website is now $100. If you use the Pepsi Max coupon, you get it for $75. The new CSS course just launched today. You can get it for $25. And then it goes up to $50 on the 12th of December. Right? The 12th of December. You got 31 days or so. Don't miss out. I'm Kristen. Thank you very much for that, my friend. Mark makes a great point. If ever Elementor or any page builder removed the ability to add CSS, I would be pissed off to the max, right? Pissed off to the max. But then we could just use code snippets, I suppose. But I don't think they ever will. I think they like it when we're able to do something inventive. Like we take the foundation and we do something a little bit different, right? Eddie is saying how many bought the course. Ah, John talks about the nth child. John, don't rush to it, John. Do not rush to the nth child, right? Go through the course, and then when you get to it, you'll see how we can use something that we've all been using for the last year, a couple of years now, and you can reduce the need to add an alternate template into your loop grid. Okay? Okay, everyone, I'm now going to jump off. I want to say big thanks to everyone being here. This was not your normal live chat. I know. You know, we weren't really digressing too much. Anyone who's watched the whole thing, thank you very much. Don't forget to smash the like button. Let your friends and family know. Call up all of your family right now, every single one of them, and tell them to go and get the course, or if they want to learn a bit of CSS. And that's the other thing also, you maybe might want to consider if you know someone who's doing a bit of coding. You don't have to use Elemental. You could use this here. Like I said right at the start, you got W3 Schools, you got forums, there's other courses, there's other books, there's other websites, there's loads of places you can go to learn CSS. The difference I find is that often they are what I call, they're like topics, but don't really glue together. Does that make sense? They don't like connect. They don't kind of follow on the logic or the understanding, or often they're too formal. Like W3 Schools is good. It's where I learned a lot of stuff. I admit I use that a lot. But it's very formal in its approach. It doesn't feel like a human wrote it. Like, hey, maybe you need to do X, Y, Z, and you don't want to do that. And if you notice this problem, we go and do, right? And that's the thing I find sometimes. They're a bit formalized. A lot of courses are. And I always say, hey, we want to have some fun. Chill the shit out, people. All right. I'm now going to jump off. Eddie, I will use Divi. Yes, you can, Eddie. The only difference is when I talk about the CSS specifics, just make sure you use the relevant Divi 5 one if you have to use it. Because it all depends on the page builder. Elemental has like a structure with class. And I know they're looking into it, but there's still class. Bricks, it's more like class action kind of thing, right? Divi might be class, maybe, I don't know. But you might just want to go and double check all of that. All right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. Thanks very much for being here. Have a look at the course, okay? Go and have a look at it. And give it a go, especially if you're one of those people who's been a bit afraid or unsure about coding. We're not talking about building a whole website, C+ and all of that. We're not going into that road yet. But if you can bring a little bit of like understanding towards CSS and how you can use it to better what you've got, you will be opening doors to different styles. And if you can add that to your profile, if you can start to discuss it and be more confident in how you discuss and talk about yourself, like you're going to say, I'm a web designer. You go to a client and you go, yeah, I'm a web designer. I build with Elemental. Well, you can change that now. You're not just a web designer that builds with Elemental, builds with bricks or breakdowns or WordPress or Gutenberg. You are now a web designer who can apply coding to page builders like Elemental or bricks or breakdowns. Notice the difference there. You can work with coding, but you will keep it so simple that it's easy for the client or anyone else to pick up and modify. You will not be hard coding the entire website where things get hidden in the child theme or somewhere else. You're going to keep it really simple and easy, but you're able to do more to reduce the burden of overheads and additional resources that other page builders or developers might use on an Elemental website, because they're going to rely on third-party add-ons, right? You start to change the dialogue, right? Because you start to say, look, you will find I know you're going to find someone else who's going to build your website for you, but they're probably going to talk about add-ons. Ask them the question. Say to them, when you build, what third-party add-ons are you going to be? And if they start to list them down, think about bloat, think about conflict, plugin, updates, vulnerabilities, things going wrong. But if you can build a lean, mean, killing website, not a killing website, I shouldn't have said that, a lean, mean website with reduced plugins, because you're now using a bit of coding, code snippets, CSS, or something like that, you're ahead of the game. Because it is a game, all right? No matter whatever you want to say, life, work, everything is a game. You got to be in the game, but you got to be ahead of the game. And when you can understand and apply a bit of coding, you will win. All right, everyone, I'm going to go. Take care. Bye. I want to go get my KFC. Hot wings. Don't you just love hot wings? Who here love? I always order like 10 or 20 hot wings. I'll have 10 today and 10 tomorrow. Who loves hot wings? KFC hot wings.
I don't care about the chicken anymore. I don't care about the chips or the popcorn or the mash. I just want to ram some wings, KFC wings. I wish they were less bony. Well, they are the wing, right? So you're going to have the bone. But don't you hate it when like you get it and you go, oh, it's more bone than wing? And if anyone here is a vegan or vegetarian, I apologize for traumatizing you during this broadcast. Hey, CSS course, $25, goes up to $50 on the 12th of December. I'll see you soon. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. Take care. Bye.